I'm Dan from HValley Tools, and today we're talking about this tiny disc sander. So we have a 5-inch disc sander that is fantastic for pens, for small parts, for little things like this. Anything that you're going to get your fingers close to and you don't really want to blow through material or throw it too hard. It will still go through, 3/4 inch material like this maple here. You can do plastics, like if you're doing some templates and you want to square those off or get the right shape. And what's nice is that it is really small in size. It comes with 3 grits of paper, and it comes with attachments to secure this horizontally, vertically on the bench. So let's get into it a little bit. You have these fabric-backed sandpaper that come with it. Sticks right on. Super durable. This isn't like your typical orbital sander paper. It's actually some high-quality paper, so it's going to last you a while. You're coming in a bunch of different grits. You have multi-speeds. So we're going to get into some of the details on the sander itself, and then this additional pen squaring attachment, which is perfect for pen turners. So really, let's get into it. So, first thing that you notice about this thing, it's super, super light. The table itself can tilt from -10 degrees all the way up to 50 degrees. So you have a lot of variance there, which is nice. On the left side here, you have your on-off switch and your variable speed that goes all the way down to 1150 RPM. So if you're doing small parts, especially if you're doing plastics, you don't want them to melt. This is the perfect machine for it because you're really just going to get the right speed where you can take off material without it kind of melting and getting nasty in your hand. So turning this on. So you can see how low that goes down. I'm not sure if you can hear the sound there, but it's really, really spinning slowly, just over 1,000 RPM. And then you can crank this thing up to 3,600 RPM and really start removing material fast. And it's still really, really quiet. You can talk right over it. And the additional parts on this, you can go vertical with it like this. So if you don't want to be kind of hunched over, you can flip it up, and you have this clamp here that you could secure it to the bench. So right in the back is this slot here. So that slides right in. Slide this over your table and tighten it down, and then that's good to go. Then you can take this dust port attachment, so the dust port is on the side. It only goes in one way, and you have your dust collection ready to go. So the dust collection, surprisingly, is very good for this little machine. Instead, with other machines, it's really kind of shooting it all over the place, especially with small parts. You know that your hands and your face are going to be close to the paper. It's great to have dust collection, so you're not breathing it in. All right, so the other thing that it has is this nice little T-track miter gauge here. So this is perfect because it can go the full 180. So if you're doing real narrow parts or real steep angles, you can get this and slide things across. And this is not nice because for what this is, there's not really a lot of slop in the T-slot. This really just locks it in. So for all these types of little parts that you're doing, angles like this, you can take this, adjust as needed, and you're kind of good to go. And it's light enough where you can just hold it with your hand and kind of slide along the paper there. When the paper does wear out, these packs are readily available. So you can get packs separately in store or online. It's coming with the 80, 150, and 240 grits. So obviously the rougher stuff at top speed is going to take off your most material, and then you get finer grain from there. And yeah, so I mean, this is what this comes with. So right now, the sander, 5-inch sander, 3 sandpaper, miter slot, the clamp, and the dust port, all here, all in this one pack. So then you have additional things you can get. For the pen turners, this is really going to come in handy. So we have this. There's a pen squaring jig. So for here, comes with all the different inserts of the standard sizes for pen barrels and all these sleeves right here. This is the same T-slot that slides in right here. So now we know we're 90 degrees to the paper. And when you put the right sleeve on over here, you have your pen blank. That slides it right in. And now you are good to turn this on and square this up. So you're squaring this up so that once you start assembling the pen, the brass pieces or silver pieces, whatever you choose, really have no gap, and you know that they're going to be flat. The alternative for that, using a barrel trimmer just in a jig, this works fine the majority of the time. So if you throw this into a clamp and you're just clamping vertically just to square it off, that normally works fine. When you start getting into woods like black palm, like wenge, things that have just some grain to it that's not really going to drill smoothly. I mean, you know, a lot of these barrel trimmers, they're on an angle, which is fine, but you still are going to run into some gnarly wood, especially with pens, because you're using a lot of exotic woods. This does have a tendency to tear out and just kind of catch and throw your arm a little bit. So similar to when you're putting some gnarly wood through a planer and you get a lot of tear out, it's best if you have a drum sander. Same thing with this. It's better to sand it than to try to drill it. And that's where this comes in very, very handy. So once this is in here, you really just have to turn this on and kind of kiss the paper, and you know that that's now 90 degrees and square. So when you're done turning your pen, you're assembling your pen, you're going to have no gaps. It's going to look good. So there it is, this 5-inch desktop sander. So again, you have the main unit, miter slot, miter gauge, clamp for the bench, dust collection, and 3 pack of sheet paper, sandpaper. All that's together, available now at HValleyTools.com or in store. Or you can get the additional pen squaring jig. So highly recommend it if you're turning pens. And again, if you run out of paper, we have packs of those as well. You can come in and store online.